What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Sioux Falls Regional Airport for the 34th airport update for the month of December 2022. Huge news for the Sioux Falls Regional Airport that I'll be talking about here at the start of the video because it is quite intensive in terms of the significance of this announcement. So recently, this is about a couple of weeks ago now, the airport board has approved a plan to add up to 8 gates at the Sioux Falls Regional Airport. That is impressive. So this comes from the Sioux Falls Business with Jody Schwan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing it, but this is where it was posted and this is where I found it. So on your screen now is a diagram of what the expansion could look like. Now, potentially they could change this in the future, but this is kind of an idea of what they will do in terms of the expansion. So some of the current gates will be removed so that they can fit in all these new gates. So in total, we'll have double-digit gates, and this will be huge for Sioux Falls if they can get the necessary funding and can potentially begin construction on this and get this completed. So with the parking garage coming, and that is for sure going to happen as they will start that here in the spring, and then they'll complete that not long after. So that will be also another huge improvement for the airport. So 15 gates in total is what this plan is going to give us. And the project cost in total is going to be over $160 million, and not expected to begin construction until at least 2025, 2026. And that's all going to depend on funding, according to Dan Letelier, the airport executive director. So very exciting times for Sioux Falls, and I'm really looking forward to this. So I'm hoping that they do get the necessary funding so that they can build this and they can get all the new air traffic into Sioux Falls, because if they can get this all built, I think it'll draw in a whole plethora of new flights, new services, new airlines, you name it. I'm sure we can get the likes of Breeze or Southwest or more American mainline stuff. I'm really looking forward to where that's going to go if that does get if they do get all the necessary funding for that and they're able to get that all built. So really excited about this. So hopefully there will be more updates in the future, but I will be sure to keep checking local news and other areas where they post about this kind of stuff, because usually this kind of big news usually never happens. Last month we had American Mainline starting from Dallas in February, and now we have this for the entire terminal facility, potentially. So it's all going to depend on if they can get the necessary funding. So I think they're working to try and get that secured, and hopefully they do. I do wish them good luck. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the update. So we're starting off here at gate number 1 with this Allegiant Airbus A319 coming in from Nashville today, flight 312. This arrived in at 11:59 a.m., delay from an 11:39 a.m. scheduled arrival. So 20-minute delay for this aircraft. Nice to see the Nashville sticking around through the winter. So they've moved a couple of their services to a more year-round ish, if you will, which is really nice. I love to see that. So Allegiant continuing to have a really good stranglehold on the market here. I think they got about a third of the market share here in Sioux Falls, which is absolutely impressive for a low-cost carrier here. So not sure if we'll get new airlines in to try and sort of shake up the market here in Sioux Falls, because I feel like we'd be a good contender for something like the likes of Breeze or something to start. I know I've said this before, and I'm really hoping that they do potentially express interest in starting to Sioux Falls, if not going ahead with those plans and starting a flight or two. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. Here at Gate 4, we have this Delta Airbus A319. This aircraft arrived in on a service from Atlanta, flight 1729, at 10:25 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 10:30 p.m. arrival. One thing I do want to point out about the Delta mainline is that back on Thanksgiving, so this has been Thursday, November 24th. Hopefully I got the date right. I mean, Thanksgiving's passed rather quickly now. But on Thanksgiving evening, we did get a Delta Airbus A321, and I actually did get to see it because I was running some errands shortly after I had Thanksgiving dinner, and I did spot the aircraft. It was actually doing like a go-around or something. I'm not sure what happened there. So it aborted the landing and it flew over Sioux Falls. So I did get to see it. So here's a photo I took on my phone that's now on your screen. So it's not the best of quality because obviously it's from my phone. So that's all I had for the Delta A321. Really wish I could have gone up there to see it, but unfortunately with those other plans of Thanksgiving dinner and all that stuff, I could not go up to the airport. But at least I got to see it. So better than nothing on that part. At Gate 6, we had this United Airbus A319 in the Eva Blue livery. This aircraft arrived in on a service from Denver, flight 338, arriving at 9:07 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:28 p.m. arrival. United's still kind of shaking it up here, sending an occasional 737 every now and then, but for right now, it looks like it will be an A319 for the moment. There is some A320 stuff coming over from Chicago, and we'll take a look at that in a moment. And from the looks of it, when I checked PassRider recently, it does look like United is still planning to send a 737 MAX 9 to Sioux Falls on December the 14th. Now, thankfully I'm out of college then. My finals will have wrapped up by that point, and I will be back home. So I'm really hoping that I do get to see it. If not, I'll be sure to try and represent that in possibly the January airport update for Sioux Falls, so as we head into 2023. So really looking forward to that, and I'm really hoping that they do stick with that and they don't swap it out for 739 at the last minute, because that would suck if they decided to do that, because they've had this planned out, I think, for at least a couple of months now, and quite frankly, if they switch it out, I'm going to be pretty upset. So hopefully they don't do that, but I'll keep an eye on it. Positioned at Gate 7, we had this United Airbus A320. Now, the only United A320 I have is this Stars and Bars retro livery, so the exact aircraft that was used was a Continental Globe liveried A320, so I'm really hoping that somebody does an Evil Blue 320, so either Gemini or NG, please get on that. I'm going to about start requesting that just as much as I do for the Delta Connection Embraer 175, which is still making regular visits to Sioux Falls, I might mention. But anyways, this United A320 just came in from Chicago O'Hare on Flight 2078, arriving in at 9:51 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:54 p.m. arrival. All the flights in this airport update are from Thursday, December 1st, so the first of the month, so we have a brand new schedule, thankfully correlating with the month that this video is being uploaded in. Last aircraft at the terminal here at Gate 5, we had this American Eagle CRJ-900. This aircraft arrived in on a service from Dallas-Fort Worth International, Flight 5810, operated by Mesa Airlines, at 10:55 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 11:14 p.m. arrival. And that's everything we have here at the terminal. We've got a good number of aircraft wandering around the airport. You can actually see one there at the bottom left of your screen, so we're going to go ahead and focus on that here. There's another one up there on the top left as well, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But we'll go and start off with some of the passenger stuff, and then we'll move into that other aircraft that I mentioned, and then we'll move on to some of the cargo stuff, as the cargo stand is back in this update. So taxiing out for departure, we have this Allegiant Airbus A320 with Sharklets. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Orlando Sanford, flight 1228. This departed at 10:49 a.m., a bit behind a 10:46 a.m. scheduled departure times, only 3 minutes of a delay for this particular aircraft. Now, I should be having them taxi up to, like, the de-icing pad, which you can't see right now because my iPad is blocking it for all the flight information that I can read off of as I go through this video, but I imagine that's where they're still sending some of those aircraft over. It's actually a little bit warmer today as I record this, about 40 degrees, but there is a cold front coming through, so that's going to bring the temperatures down pretty quickly. Taxiing out for departure, and we'll go ahead and say he's heading over to the de-icing stand, just like the Allegiant that we took a look at here. We have this American Eagle Embraer 175. This aircraft's going to be heading out to Dallas today, flight 3539, operated by Envoy Air. This departed at 1:42 p.m., a bit behind a 1:25 p.m. scheduled departure time, so just a 17-minute delay for this particular aircraft. So there is a de-icing stand up here, and we also have the aircraft that I mentioned earlier, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Parked up near the de-icing stand, which you can kind of see there up closer towards the bottom of the screen, we have this JSX Embraer 145, which I'm substituting in for a Key Lime Air Embraer 135. So this aircraft came in from Spokane, Washington as Flight 978, arriving right on time at 7:19 p.m. So possibly looking at some sort of sports charter here. Not exactly sure what's happening here in this case, but I do know of a really good sports charter that's coming in on the day that I record this, in a Velo 730-700 from Wilmington, Delaware, as the Fighting Blue Hens competed against the South Dakota State University Jackrabbits up in Brookings, South Dakota, as part of the college football FCS playoffs. So the road to the championship game for the FCS division of NCAA football. So they play that on Saturday, December 3rd. I'll go ahead and pop up on your screen the final score of that game, as by the time I'm recording this, the game has not yet been played, and actually that aircraft, that Avelo aircraft, is on its way as I record this. I'll be heading out to the airport here pretty soon to go catch that, and if I am successful in that, make sure to go check out that spotting vlog that I filmed up at the airport. And if I went, it was a really great time, and I'm really excited to see if Avelo comes back, and if Breeze does as well, because Breeze has already been here once on another charter flight, so hopefully those two airlines do make a return in the future. Our last aircraft here at the passenger section of the diorama, we have this UPS Airbus A300, going to be heading out to Long Beach, California today, so heading out to LA, the LA Metro, if you will. So this departed as Flight 2576 at 4:08 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 4:24 p.m. departure time. So good to see that ahead of scheduled departure, so hopefully those packages got to Long Beach early so that people could get what they ordered from wherever it was, like Amazon or eBay, any of the e-commerce websites, a little bit ahead of schedule. A warm welcome back to the cargo stand. Really happy to be back here as we do have a good lineup of some cargo aircraft here. That Long Beach flight kind of inspired me to put in some of this cargo stuff here. There was some FedEx flights, but because of the lack of space, I am choosing not to represent a FedEx flight here. But we do have one, a little FedEx feeder ATR 72, just sitting right here. So this aircraft came in from Indianapolis, our mountain air cargo flight that arrives in every so often. I think it arrives like a few times a week. This arrived in at 7:17 p.m., delayed from a 6:41 p.m. scheduled arrival time, so a little over half an hour delay for this aircraft. Our penultimate aircraft, we had this UPS 757-200. This aircraft arrived in from Cedar Rapids, Iowa today, flight 670. This arrived in at 4:30 a.m. ahead of a scheduled 4:39 a.m. arrival. And here is Flight 492, as always, a very common flight here. You always have the 491 that comes in from Calgary, and then the 492 that will sometimes come in from Louisville, the super hub for, actually no, the World Port they call it. The super hub, I think, is the name for FedEx, so I should call it the World Port. So coming in from the World Port today is this UPS 763. So this arrived in at 5:34 a.m. ahead of a scheduled 5:02 a.m. arrival. And as I hear jets outside, it sounds like something may have taken off. I'm going to have to take a look at that. May have to head up to the airport maybe a little earlier than planned. But that'll do it for this update. So really excited about those big plans that the airport board has approved. Hopefully they'll be put into motion here in the next couple of years. I'm really looking forward to hearing about any further updates on that. And when I do find information, I will be sure to forward that on the upcoming Sioux Falls airport updates when applicable. And I'll be heading out to the airport here pretty soon to catch the Velo. I'm really looking forward to that. Again, make sure to go check out that spotting vlog. If it was a success, if not, then it is what it is. But I'm really hoping it is a success. It's going to be really cold out, and I'm hopeful that I'm not going to get frostbite. So I'm going to go ahead and try to brave the cold weather on this one, if you will. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.